there's a lot of things you can learn just by watching someone else do something and really paying close attention to it. And I think if I were to mentor someone in my future, if I were to take on an apprentice, I definitely see the value in them, working, watching, studying, and then getting their feet wet with tattooing instead of just jumping in right away. My name is Michael Adelstein. I work at Skin and Soul Tattoo, and I've been working here for the last, I believe, 3.5, 4 years now. Moved here from Bellingham, and I was tattooing there a couple years before at a couple different shops. And I apprenticed under Steve Haight at Old School Tattoo, and it was kind of just being at the right place at the right time. I ended up going into the tattoo shop to get my second tattoo, and I was talking with different artists there and the guy working the counter, and one thing led to another, and they were looking for an apprentice, so I just kept showing up at the shop again and again, and ended up apprenticing under the owner of the shop there, Steve. So there were different phases of the apprenticeship, and the first phase was kind of just grunt work. My job was to kind of lighten the load a little bit so that they could take breaks. I would set up their station, break down their station, and I would mop, sweep, I would clean the shop, I would run errands, I would go get them food, basically anything except for like back rubs or whatever, you just do a bunch of work for the entire shop to try and make everyone's workload a little bit easier and just be incredibly helpful. And the more helpful you are, the more likely they are to open up and teach you different skills, different tricks. The second phase, I would say, is about like month 3 to month 6, and it's different for everyone, by the way, during apprenticeships. Everyone runs a different apprenticeship, but in mine, 3 months to 6 months was still the grunt work, but a lot more focused on drawing assignments at that time. And drawing large sheets of butterflies and skulls, roses, lettering, some of the things that I would be doing more consistently, especially in the beginning of tattooing. I worked as a paper boy. That was one of my first jobs, delivering papers. I did that with my older brother Caleb. And let's see, I worked in lawn maintenance and landscaping for several years. I worked at a family Christian bookstore for a year and a half. I worked selling knives for Cutco. Done several different things. My apprenticeship started when I was 20 years old, just before my 21st birthday. So up until that point, I was working all those different jobs. There were jobs that I definitely liked more than others, and there were aspects of almost every job that I did like. But I think at the core, I liked what I was doing before. I didn't love what I was doing before. I have such an obsession about this craft that, for instance, I went on vacation to Alaska just a couple months ago, and it was for 10 days. And when I got back, I was itching to get back to work. I was craving it. Not tattooing and not working with clients to try and help them achieve their vision for their skin, not being able to, just design and play and ink, and I just absolutely love it. Love everything about it. I 100% have noticed a massive change in my life after finding this field and getting into tattooing. It has provided just so much fulfillment and so much joy that I feel like when you have a ton of joy from one aspect of your life, it's pretty much impossible for that to not translate into everything else. And if you're more fulfilled and more satisfied and more happy, that's going to affect everything else in a more positive way. After, like you said, doing this for 7 years is definitely the job that I've done the longest. I've done more than any of my other jobs. And I totally thought, like the other jobs, that I would reach a point where I would go, I don't know how I feel about this anymore. I've done this for a while and it's been fun, but maybe it's time to try something new. But every single day I just feel like, man, what is coming up next? And so maybe it'll change at some point, but for right now I just can't imagine not doing this. It's incredible. feel like we are not exactly what we are right now. We're mostly what we are right now, but we're also a collection of everything we've ever been before. So I think tattoos are kind of a nice like photo album, essentially, for if you get a lot of tattoos, by the end of your life, hopefully something awesome and fun and beautiful to look at. There's so many different philosophies and approaches to it, but with myself, I want to get a lot of tattoos and a lot of styles from a lot of people for a lot of different reasons. And hopefully at the end it'll kind of be a fun story to look at, storybook, I guess, to look at. And there's challenges too, but the challenges I think are incredibly engaging and stimulating, and it just makes me feel like very alive every day. And honestly, I get to draw on people's skin and get paid for it, so it's not a bad gig. It's not a bad gig.